Hello, I'm Michael Diamond, and you're watching Muscle Central. Okay, recently I put up quite a few videos talking about the upcoming Mr. Olympia, the 2020 Mr. Olympia, and it's basically been about the open class, which is shaping up to be a very stacked and competitive lineup. Uh, let's not overlook the 212s, which also should be a very competitive competition. Now, I don't have the the list of all the competitors in front of me, and I'm not going to remember all the names, so I'm not going to run off all the competitors in the 212. But I'm going to talk about the top four, who, or at least who I feel will be in the top four. Now, I'd like to make an honorable mention to David Henry. I'm not sure how many Olympias he's done, but he's done quite a few. Uh, like David Henry, great bodybuilder. I would love to see him making it in top four, but my personal opinion is his better days, and not saying that he's washed up by any means, but you have some tough, very tough competitors in the lineup, and I think David Henry's better days are behind him, and I just don't think he'll be able to bring the firepower to overcome it. But I'm rooting for you. Uh, Let me go who I think is going to be in the top four. Let me start off like this, in no particular order. Sean Clarita, Derek Lunsford, George Peterson, and Kamal El Gagni. As we all know, Kamal is the current 212 champion. Now, the only disappointment coming into this 212 Olympia would be that Keon Pearson, who, like George Peterson, jumped from the classic physique, won a qualification for the 212 Olympia, and has pulled out due to personal reasons. To make a long story short, he says that his head's not in it right now. There are things going on, and will respect his decision. But we're still going to have a very, very competitive lineup. Uh, Now, let's start with Kamala Gagni, who is I mean, the old. He should be. He's gonna be the oldest one in the lineup. He's older than David Henry. I believe he's pushing 50, if not already at the 50 years of age mark. He hasn't been a pro that long. He's for for political reasons within bodybuilding, he only earned his pro card recently, but he has a very stellar career. He's a very decorated, not the most decorated, amateur bodybuilder in history. Kamal is kind of like the Dexter Jackson of the 212s. He just doesn't seem to get old. At least his physique doesn't seem to get old. Uh, he's probably not going to be the biggest on the stage, but he brings a very polished physique, and he'll be, if not the most conditioned, one of the if not the best condition, it'll be one of the best condition on stage that night. Now, Derek Lunsford, this will be his fourth Olympia. He placed twice second at his first Olympia. In his Olympia debut, he placed fifth. Now, after his first second place finish, he was dubbed to be the heir apparent to Flex Lewis. Came back the following year, once again, second place. But Derek Lunsford, physique-wise, is really not lacking anything. He probably can move into the open class in a year or two. His structure is big enough. His problem is that he just hasn't been able to bring the conditioning that he needs to take top honors. Sean Clarita, who's going to be the smallest man on stage, it'll probably be lucky if he even comes close to 200 pounds by the time he's on stage. I think the last year he actually hit 202 by the time he stepped on stage. That's after the weigh-in, after the filling out. He finally settled in around 202. I'm not sure how much more size he's brought this year. He's probably brought a little more size, but I don't think he's anywhere near the top of the weight class. But every year consistently brings in a little bigger and a little better package. And even though he lacks the size of some of his competition, he brings an excellent package to the stage. Now we got George Peterson, who, like Keon Pearson, just moved up into the 212 from the classic physique. George Peterson won the Tampa Pro 212 to earn him his spot in the Olympia. Now, he's always been touted as having more of a bodybuilder's physique as opposed to what we call, or what we refer to as classic physique. And everybody was wondering what would happen when and if he does move into the next class, which we will see very shortly. How do I see this falling? Like I said, I think George Peterson, Kamala Gardner, Sean Clarita, Derek Lunsford, they're all going to be in the top four. Let's go fourth up to first. I know I'll probably get a little flack for saying this, so I'm sure he has a lot of fans out there, but in my personal opinion, considering the lineup and going by previous showings, I think we're going to see Derek Lunsford in fourth place. Let me explain what it is. Now, like I said, he has a great tool set that he's working with. He has a big enough structure to eventually move up into the open, in my opinion. Like I said before, he hasn't been able to really bring the conditioning that's needed. And in the 212 division, you tend to find the athletes on a whole coming in better conditioning than they do in the open. And if he doesn't bring the conditioning, he has he has three other people that he's going to be going up against that consistently bring conditioning. Now, after his second place finish, when he runner up to Flex Lewis on his last 212 Olympia win, he said after that he realized the mistakes that he made some last minute changes before the competition in the last day or two before the show, and it didn't work out right, but he's learned from his mistakes. He won't make those mistakes again. Well, come the following year, obviously he made those mistakes again. And once again, we hear the same thing, that, well, the last day or two, we tried some new things, we made some last minute changes, and it didn't work out, but we've learned from it. It won't happen again. It's kind of like the Big Ramy of the 212s. You have all the tools, and on paper, you really should be able to win it, but like Big Ramy just doesn't seem to be able to bring in the level of conditioning that he really needs to bring in. I'm going to put him at fourth place. Now, I think we're going to see, it's going to be a tough one. I like Sean Clarita. And as far as the 212s go, I mean, George Peterson's a new boy on the block, but he comes to the show muscular and in shape. And even though Sean Clarita brings in tremendous conditioning, he always does when he steps on stage, and I'm sure he's going to be a little bigger than he was last year, I just don't think he's going to have enough size yet to be battling first place. And I would lean towards Sean Clarita coming in the third place slot this year. Now, by the way, that happens to be the same placing he had last year. I do see it coming down to a battle between George Peterson and Kamala Gardner, and it's a tough one to call because they really have two totally different physiques. George might have one of the best backs, if not the best back in bodybuilding right now, and that's including all divisions. That's the open, everything. He has an amazing back, and from the other positions, he don't look too bad either. He brings in a terrific package with terrific conditioning, and I think he's going to give Kamala Gardner a strong battle. Ultimately, I think Kamala Gardner, with his experience, his stage presence, and his experience, I think that he would probably edge out George Peterson, but I wouldn't bet the farm on it. But I would, as of now, I'm leaning towards George Peterson, second place, and Kamala Gogni to repeat with his second 212 Mr. Olympia. Okay, to conclude this video, this is not my final predictions, by the way. As of now, this is how I feel it's most likely going to go, and my picks might change over the next couple of weeks. But as of now, the way I see this, I think Kamala Gogni is going to pull out a tough battle. He's going to pull out a first place victory in a tough battle against George Peterson, who I see coming in second, with Sean Clarita placing third. And I think simply because he's going to be out-muscled. He's not going to be able to bring enough size and firepower, at least not yet, to topple the guys on top. And like I said before, I think a lot of people are going to yell at me about this. I don't think Derek Lunsford is going to be able to bring the conditioning that he needs to. Like I said, on paper, he could win this, but I'm going by the track record. I just don't think he's going to bring in the kind of conditioning he needs to. And I think this competition is going to be decided on conditioning. You might agree or disagree with me. Either way, let me know in the comment section. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please share, and by all means subscribe. Do not forget to hit that notification bell. This way, every time I put up a new video, you will be notified. Once again, this is Michael Diamond, and I'd like to thank you for watching Muscle Central.